A terrifying glow sliced through the night sky, casting unsettling shadows over the lake in Cay de la Florida. In the early hours of February 4th, 1978, 6 fishermen witnessed something out of this world. Suddenly, a 15-meter metallic disc descending from the sky revealed a serene humanoid figure. The creature floated, smiled enigmatically, and disappeared as mysteriously as it appeared, leaving everyone in shock and without answers. This is the account of the encounter in Cay de la Florida, a UFO case in Argentina. In the peaceful community of Cay de la Florida, situated on the shores of a tranquil lake, life followed a calm and predictable rhythm. It was common for fishermen to gather at night to share stories and seek sustenance from the calm waters. After a hearty dinner that extended until midnight, a group of local residents began preparing for another night of fishing. Rods, nets, lanterns, and bait were carefully organized, while laughter and conversations filled the fresh early morning air. Among the fishermen were the Souza brothers, known for their friendly rivalry in all the activities they engaged in. Regina and Jacinto, longtime friends, reminisced about past adventures and exchanged stories about successful fishing trips. Manuel, the most introspective of the group, seemed lost in his own thoughts, appreciating the serenity of the night. As the boats glided across the water under the starry sky, the reflection of the stars on the water created a magical scene worthy of a painting. The first half of the night passed peacefully. The group, excited, competed to see who would be the first to catch the biggest fish. The sound of water being cut by the nets and the murmur of cheerful voices were the only signs of life in that calm landscape. However, as the hours passed, fatigue began to set in. Around 2 in the morning, Genaro, Regina, and Jacinto decided to return to the nearby cabins to rest. Pedro and Manuel, more determined, chose to continue fishing, enjoying the silence and solitude that the early morning provided. While Regina was trying to fall asleep, she was awakened by a peculiar sound. Curious, she went to the window and saw a light quickly crossing the sky. At first, she thought it was a shooting star, something common on such clear nights. However, something about the intensity and speed of the light made her uneasy. It did not seem to be a natural phenomenon. Regina stayed alert, but decided not to alarm the others. About half an hour later, her curiosity turned to concern when an intense white light illuminated the hill near the lake, brightening the area as if it were daytime. Frightened, Regina woke Genaro and Ramon to share what she had seen. Both, initially skeptical, agreed to observe the phenomenon. On the lake, Pedro and Manuel also began to notice something unusual. A bright light enveloped them, and when they looked up at the sky, an object slowly descended, like a scene from a science fiction movie. The object was shaped like an inverted saucer and emitted an intense white light from the lower part, while red and green lights flickered rhythmically on the upper part. Astonished, the two fishermen couldn't take their eyes off it. When a ladder began to descend from the UFO, fear took hold of Pedro and Manuel. From the opening in the disc emerged a humanoid figure, tall and slender, about 2 meters in height. He wore a silver jumpsuit that softly glowed in the UFO's light, and a transparent helmet that revealed a face with fine features and blonde hair. Despite the initial fear, the fisherman noticed that the being's expression was serene, almost friendly. He floated slightly above the ground, as if gravity did not affect him in the same way. The figure stopped at a safe distance and made a gesture with his hands, which seemed to be a greeting. Pedro, overcome by a strange sense of calm, responded with a slight nod. Manuel, more cautious, remained still, watching every movement of the visitor. The silence was broken only by the continuous humming of the ship, which seemed to pulse with energy. After a few minutes of silent interaction, the figure returned to the ship and the ladder was retracted. The UFO then accelerated vertically at an impossible speed, disappearing among the stars. Still in shock, Pedro and Manuel returned to the cabins to report what had happened. Regina, Genaro, and Ramon listened attentively, and although the description seemed unbelievable, the fishermen's seriousness and consistency in the details convinced them that something extraordinary had occurred. They decided to inform the authorities, and the case reached UFO investigator Fabio Zerpa, renowned for his experience with extraterrestrial phenomena. Zerpa arrived at the location accompanied by a team equipped with modern instruments, including electromagnetic variation detectors and high-sensitivity cameras. At the site indicated by the fishermen, circular marks were found on the ground, as if something heavy had landed there. The terrain showed slight magnetic alterations, and the fishermen's consistent reports reinforced the event's authenticity. Additionally, other residents of the region reported having seen the intense light and the metallic object in the sky, corroborating the stories. The investigation attracted the attention of local and international media, and the case soon made the news. The United States government, attentive to reports of extraterrestrial activity during that decade, was also informed. Despite the initial interest, the mystery remained unsolved, and the case eventually faded into obscurity, becoming a legend told by the residents of Quay de la Florida. Decades later, in 2025, interest in the case was renewed with advancements in technology and increased investigations into UFO phenomena. Documentaries were produced, featuring interviews with the fishermen, now elderly, and revealing new evidence. Among the findings, a video from the time was rediscovered, showing the UFO and the humanoid figure. The ship, seen up close, displayed a bright and indecipherable symbol on its side, which sparked new debates about the object's origin and purpose. Modern researchers analyzed the marks on the ground and the magnetic variations with advanced equipment, concluding that the characteristics did not correspond to any known terrestrial technology at the time. Theories emerged, ranging from scientific explanations of natural phenomena to hypotheses of extraterrestrial visits. The symbol on the ship remained an enigma, fueling the curiosity of scientists and enthusiasts. For the fishermen, the encounter was a transformative event. Pedro and Manuel, the main witnesses of the phenomenon, frequently reflected on what they had seen, feeling honored to have experienced something so extraordinary. Regina, Genaro, and Ramon also carried the experience as a memorable recollection, a story that shaped their lives and left a permanent mark on the community. The case of Quay de la Florida remains one of the most intriguing reports of UFO encounters. In South America, inspiring debates about the possibility of extraterrestrial life and the limits of human knowledge. Although many questions remain unanswered, the story serves as a reminder that the universe still holds deep and unexplored mysteries.